Hello, this is Recap's Lab, and this is the movie The Hills Have Eyes. The action of the movie takes place in the desert of New Mexico, where from 1945 to 1962, the United States conducted 331 nuclear tests in the atmosphere. Some locals, the majority of whom were miners, refused to move out because of the nuclear tests and hid deep in the mines. High radiation levels caused genetic changes in the structure of their bodies, turning them into mutants. Thus, government denies all facts of genetic deviations that resulted from the tests. Not far from the closed zone where the nuclear tests took place, there is a small gas station, which is serviced by a local old gas station attendant. The gas station attendant is in collusion with the mutants, and at their request directs all travelers who visit him to the closed zone. In exchange, the mutants bring him jewelry, which they manage to get from the unfortunate people who fell into their hands. The gas station attendant is reluctant, but he has no other choice, as he risks becoming a victim of the mutants. One of these travelers is the family of Big Bob, a former detective who, having retired, decides to go on vacation with his wife Ethel to German shepherds and children, Lynn, Brenda, and Bobby. Lynn went on a trip with her husband Doug and their baby. In their car, towing a motorhome, Big Bob's family pulls into a gas station to fill up and stock up on supplies before continuing their journey to San Diego through the desert. Already at the gas station, one of the mutants watches the family and steals a red bike from the car, dropping a toy in the process, fulfilling the mutant's request. The gas station attendant advises Big Bob to turn left in a couple of miles to shorten the route through the hills, but warns that this is not indicated on the map. Following the gas station attendant's advice, Big Bob turns left to shorten the route. However, soon the mutants throw spikes under the car's wheels, after which it loses control and gets into an accident from which it was impossible to repair. Fortunately, none of the family members were hurt. The dogs, having sensed the mutants, break out of the motorhome and rush to run. Bobby decides to get the dogs back and runs after them, calling them in every way, and manages to get them back to the trailer. There is no mobile signal, and there is no help to wait for. Big Bob decides that they need to go for help themselves, taking this task on himself and Doug, armed with a Colt revolver for this, and also arming his son Bobby with a small pistol, since he remains to guard the remaining family members at the trailer. Big Bob goes to the gas station, where they replenish supplies to get water and call for help. Doug goes forward through the restricted area in the hope of meeting help and at the same time scouting the area. Brenda releases one of the dogs from the trailer, and it rushes to run again. Bobby follows the dog. After running for some time, he hears the dog whining and howling. Following the bloody tracks, Bobby discovers the gutted corpse of a dog. Running away in panic, he falls off a cliff and loses consciousness. He is examined by mutants, but they do not touch him. At this time, Doug gets to a huge crater, at the bottom of which there is a junkyard of cars. Having searched which, he picks up various junk, after which he goes further. Big Bob reaches a gas station, where he finds a bag of jewelry, which the mutants brought to the gas station attendant for his efforts. In the bag, Bob finds a severed ear and also sees newspaper clippings on the board, which talked about nuclear tests and missing travelers in the Forbidden Zone. Horrified, Bob brings the revolver to the combat platoon and then continues to inspect the gas station. In the street toilet, he finds a sobbing gas station attendant asking for forgiveness from Bob. He shoots himself in the head with a shotgun. At this time, Bob is surrounded by mutants, and they begin to whisper from different sides. Nervously, he opens random shooting and rushes to the car standing at the gas station. However, there was a mutant in the back seat of the car, who started to bang Bob's head into the windshield. After that, the bloody Bob was taken away in a cart to the mines. Meanwhile, Brenda goes looking for her brother Bobby and finds him, dragging him into the trailer. At this time, Doug returns, saying that he found a crater with a car dump where he took all sorts of junk with him, but he could not find anything significant. The family is getting ready for bed, but Bobby is nervous and cannot sleep. Hearing noises on the street, Bobby wakes Doug up, and they decide to check what is happening. At this time, one of the mutants sneaks into the trailer, into Brenda's room. To distract attention, a flame flares up in the distance and a piercing scream is emitted. Doug, Bobby, Lynn, and Ethel rush to the flame and see Big Bob burning chained to a tree. Taking advantage of the fact that almost the entire family is distracted. Another mutant climbs into Brenda's trailer and rapes her. Lynn, hearing screams coming from the trailer, returns there. One of the mutants is holding a baby in his arms. Lynn hits the mutant on the head with a frying pan, but he points a revolver at the baby. At this time, Ethel returns to the trailer and the mutant shoots her, mortally wounding her. In despair, Lynn stabs the mutant's leg with a screwdriver, but immediately gets a bullet in the forehead. The mutants grab the baby and run away, leaving Brenda alive. Bobby and Doug, hearing the screams, also run to the trailer, but are no longer able to help. In the morning, Doug takes the surviving dog and goes in search of the kidnapped baby. The dog picks up the scent and leads Doug into the mines, after which they come to the mutant village. Meanwhile, Brenda and Bobby, using the fishing line from the fishing rod, make a warning system near the trailer. In case of an attack by mutants, wandering around the village, Doug finds a baby in one of the houses, but the mutant living there knocks him out with a blow. Doug is placed in a refrigerator with corpses and limbs of other people. Having come to his senses, Doug manages to get out of the refrigerator, after which he continues to explore the village again looking for the baby. In one of the houses, Doug enters into a fight with a mutant, and as a result of a long and difficult battle, he manages to win, chopping the mutant's head off with an axe. On the street, Doug manages to kill another mutant and pick up his shotgun. At this time, the mutant who kidnapped the baby decides to kill him, but this is prevented by a mutant woman dressed in a red t-shirt who wrapped a piglet instead of a child. She herself, meanwhile, grabbed the baby and ran away from the village. At this time, Brenda and Bobby, who remained at the trailer, are attacked by one of the mutants. During the fight, they manage to blow up the mutant along with the trailer by releasing gas. Leaving the village, Doug notices a mutant woman running away with a baby. He manages to get ahead of her and block her path. However, the mutant did not show aggression and handed the baby to Doug. But at that moment, the mutant who wanted to kill the child falls on Doug. A fight ensues between them, during which Doug manages to shoot the mutant with a shotgun. The mutant woman hands the baby to Doug, but the mutant with whom they had a fight woke up and, picking up a shotgun, tried to kill them, having sacrificed herself to save Doug and the baby. The mutant woman rushes at her fellow and they fall off the cliff together. Doug, along with the baby and the dog, returns to the blown-up trailer and reunites with Brenda and Bobby. Someone is watching them through binoculars.